Are we ready to convene the meeting? I apologize, I have to do this by Zoom. Can't hear anybody. Can you hear me? Hello?
Susan, I'm on. It's Patsy.
Okay. Are they on in there? Hello?
Clear.
Are we ready to convene the meeting? Can you hear me at the courthouse? Laura? David? Anybody in the courthouse?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear?
I can hear. I
Okay.
see you too, Mike. Okay. I guess we're ready to rock and roll. I will call the Harrison County Commission meeting for Wednesday, May the 4th to order. Patsy, could you lead us in the invocation and pledge, please?
Heavenly Father, I just pray for this, that all the people in the room that are present, that they have a peaceful day with joy. I pray that they all return home safe from work. And I pray that this meeting is productive and moving our county forward. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the
To the
flag
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there anyone in the room that wishes to speak publicly? Anyone signed up to?
No, Commissioner.
Okay, thank you. Anyone on Zoom wish to speak publicly? Anyone on Zoom wish to speak publicly? Okay, hearing none, we will go to number 2 on the agenda. It's the consent agenda. What's the pleasure?
motion approved, please.
Motion's been made to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, next is number 3, payroll change notices. A, Isaiah Williams, part-time temporary, effective April 28th, 2022, prosecuting attorney. What's the pleasure?
Move to approve.
Motion's been made to approve number 3. All in favor, or is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. It says there are no minutes or amended minutes of previous meetings. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so we will move to number 5. Requisitions, purchase orders, invoices as shown on a vendor requisition list of payments. What's the pleasure?
Move to put them on the next agenda. None of them have been approved.
Move to put them on the next agenda. What was the rest of it? I'm sorry, David.
None of them have been approved.
Commissioner Hinkle's referring to none of the commissioners have signed them.
Well, I think once they're approved here, we can, somebody, I can get in there and sign them at some point.
Later
After
too,
the vote.
Susan.
Well, the
David,
motion,
I could be in there later and sign them.
I mean, I hate not to pay the bills.
Again, they haven't been approved by the commissioners for payment.
Well,
Well,
actually,
last week after the meeting and signed them. So what's the difference this week if I sign them later today?
You only signed 2 or 3 that I know of last week. You had everything signed beforehand.
Yeah, I did. I had everything signed beforehand, and then you went back after the meeting and signed everything I had signed. So can I just not sign what you signed today a little bit?
I have my motion
Same
on the
as-
floor.
Okay. So it's different this week than it was last week.
Last week when I moved to approving Patsy,
Oh, you're kidding.
I thought they were already approved.
We just have stack it high. Well,
Okay.
They don't want it to blow off.
okay, motion,
How much?
any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm
No.
opposed. So the motion failed.
Is there going to be a motion to approve the requisitions?
Yes, motion to approve.
Motion's been made to approve the requisitions, the list of requisitions. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Please note the opposition. Motion carried. Okay, there's no exoneration, corrective tickets, and joint applications. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And there are no consideration of approval of project fund requisitions for Charles Point and White
That is
Oaks.
correct. I'm sorry, yes, that is correct.
Okay, number 8, consideration of approval of project fund requisitions for the payments of costs associated with the General Services Administration building project to be financed from proceeds of the Series 2020 bonds issued for the Harrison County Building Commission, A and B. What's the pleasure?
Motion to move forward and approve.
Motion to move forward and approve. Any discussion?
What's the $10,000 payment for?
For artwork over in the new building.
Do we have a description of what we're buying for $10,000?
Not a specific, each piece by piece for Mr. Kern.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Please note the opposition. Motion carried. Number 9, review, discuss, consider transfer funds from 404-214 to 404-459 in the amount of $221.80 from Fund 404-221 to 404-341 in the amount of $2,500 for tax division for fiscal year 2021-2022. What's the pleasure?
Motion approved.
Motion's been made to approve number 9. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 10, review, discuss, consider proposed demolitions of state-owned property. Somebody want to explain?
Yes, we would like to get permission to buy each of these properties from the state. Because nobody's claiming them, nobody's buying them, and they're just sitting there and they are turning into drug houses. And there's 5 houses in the East View area, and they are all like right in vicinity of each other. There's 2 in Summit Park, and there's 1 in Adamston. And I also would like to have permission to put them out for bid as one big lump package.
How much?
Motion
do
to
they-
approve a state. Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead,
I need
Susan,
some
I'm
more
sorry.
information. Okay. How much would it cost? How much does it cost to buy these from the state?
$50 a piece.
Okay, now my question is there, and I'm not trying to question what you're saying, Charlotte, but I'd like to see something in black and white that says that these are only going to cost us $50.
Okay, I can forward you the email that Russell sent me.
Okay, that would be great. I mean, I'm all for getting these houses down, but at the minimal expense to the county. Do we have anybody that do we know of that's interested in purchasing any of this property once this is done?
Yes, some of the adjoining property owners said that they would like to buy it once it's been cleaned up.
We understand that these properties have to be auctioned off at the courthouse.
Yes, they do.
That they can't just buy them,
Correct.
and that we will only auction them off for the money we have in, and will we take any money that it's off?
Would encourage you all to set some type of reserve. Typically, what we see is we lump them together. We have a mass auction of demolition properties. We try to recoup the lien value for the demolition liens. I'll tell you, the reality is that you're probably not going to recoup the cost of the demolition.
You're absolutely not. We are going to, taxpayers are going to use their money to clean up these dilapidated structures, and we will not recover the money. Cover is getting rid of the blight and an opportunity for a neighbor to buy green space, which will allow them to clean the property, keep the property maintained from that point on. But we will absolutely, and I want to lose money on this, but what we gain is we get the conscience of knowing we cleaned up 10 dilapidated properties in our neighborhoods to make our neighborhoods better and safer.
Okay, what's the pleasure?
This open-ended as far as cost goes?
Well, I think she needs to come back with the cost to us before we move forward.
I
Well,
did
she has-
get a vague estimate, and it was like from 150,000 to 175,000. I think that's a little on the high end.
And there is $150,000 budgeted for demolition in next year's budget, and there's still money left over in this year's budget as well.
So we
Correct.
just need to go through the necessary steps to make sure this is done right.
There's,
That's the same house.
so there's a carryover from this year into next year's budget, so
I'd
the
like
budget
to
was
use up this year's
150,
budget.
it's already been used up, has it not?
Don't think it has now.
So how we been tearing homes down?
We haven't lately.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We haven't lately.
We just tear one down on 19 here 2 or 3 months ago.
That was
Next to the Hepzibah post office?
I'm just asking, it's
That
been this
was-
physical year,
last fall.
still this physical year.
Yeah, but there's still money left, I do believe, from,
Think we could get a balance on what's been spent,
I do believe we did.
and none of these houses are gonna have asbestos in them.
No, the odds are they probably are going to have asbestos in it.
We'll have to put that in the package as well.
So was that included in the price that you got, was asked to tear them and treat them down, every building is asbestos tearing?
Yes, yes.
Commissioner Hinkle, there's 104,000 in per line item in planning for demolition of houses currently. Only 40,132 has been spent.
And on the legal side, I'd kind of like to see this in 2 steps. One would be motion to accept the properties $50 a piece from the auditor. Then the second subsequent would be review, discuss, consider issuing an RFP for the bulk tear down process. That way we do it the correct way in terms of allowing bidders to come in. They'll probably go on site. They'll make an estimate as to asbestos in their bids, but very similar to what the municipalities do. And if we have other properties, we'd include them as well, because we're going to get that per unit discount if we can within our budget.
Yeah, well, the more we put in the pile, the cheaper it is as we sell it in bulk. It goes a long way far as the job price as well as the landfill price. And there will probably be asbestos in most of the properties. And also, this is one of the single most important things we can do in our county, and that's get rid of the dilapidated structures, which is not only an eyesore, but also inviting to things that we don't want to be present in our county.
Any further discussion? I would suggest we do the motions as Trey stated.
Susan, do you want to make the motion that we move forward as stated, pending you seeing any information?
Yes.
Okay, then motion to move forward as stated by Ms. Schaefer, pending
As stated by the attorney.
as stated by the attorney, pending Ms. Thomas seeing the information provided by the state of the cost of the properties.
Well, she'll have to come back with all of those correct anyways before we move forward. This just gives her permission to go ahead and look into it, correct?
No, I want to move forward, Susan.
Okay.
I want you to know for a
Okay.
fact that
Okay.
it's $50. It's $50 a house, and really what the state is doing is they're throwing them at us, because if we're going to use our resources to tear them down, it's a win-win for everybody: the state, the county, the city. It's just getting rid of block.
Okay. Are you okay with the way he worded that, Trey?
It's clear enough.
So Trey, how about a motion for Charlotte to contact the state, get in writing from the state that we can purchase these buildings for $50 a piece. If we get that in writing, then we can move forward in purchasing them.
That's exactly what I said. And Charlotte already has that information. And Charlotte, if you could please forward that, just greatly appreciated, so we could get this ball moving for this summer.
Okay. So the motion has been made to get the information from the auditor's office that it is $50 a piece for the property, and she can move forward with that. Correct?
If that's what they come back with.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Then the next motion is Charlotte will go out for bid on the homes if we purchase the homes to get a cost for demolition.
That is correct. That is correct. So, if it exceeds what's already in her allocated budgets.
Okay.
If
Okay,
additional funding is required above and beyond her allocated budget, then yes, then we need to make an motion on the floor to approve that. But should it stay under her allocated budget this year and next year, then we can continue to move
We
forward.
have to make a motion to go out for bid. Whether it
We
comes
do.
back
right, and then when it comes back, we'll go from there.
Exactly.
Can we tighten it up? Let me just try to give you some words. It's a motion that Charlotte and planning will prepare a request for proposals for consideration by the commission related to these properties.
Okay,
Yeah, we're
As-
not approving to turn down today.
Correct.
we're approving her to go out to bid, correct? Or request a, okay. 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 David, is your motion as stated by Trey, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Any further discussion?
My
Hearing
man.
none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, motion carried. Okay, I think we have a 10:20 hearing. Is that correct? Let's see where do I want to,
Yes, that is correct.
are all parties there?
Yes,
This is for Will, correct?
correct.
In Solemn
You can-
form.
For the record.
David Glover, attorney in Clarksburg, 214 St. James Drive, Clarksburg, West Virginia. And I'm appearing with petitioners, William Webb, to my left, and his daughter, Kimberly Webb, or Kimberly Miller. And we had filed a petition to permit a copy of a will to be admitted to probate. William and Kim are both the only beneficiaries of the will of Frances June Webb. Frances unfortunately died on December 31st of 2021 at United Hospital Center. They had been married for 51 years, as I understand it, and they had one daughter, Kimberly. Dean Ramsey had prepared wills for Frances and William on May the 16th of 2008. Upon conclusion of preparing those, he gave the originals and a copy to each of them. And they took them back to the residence, and William put his where he puts his important papers. And Frances put her original will and a copy where she keeps her important papers. After she passed, well, let me back up. There's affidavits attached to the petition from Kim and from William. So we wouldn't need to go through their testimony. It's sworn affidavits to everything that I'm saying here today. And also attached to the petition was the certificate of death. And we've submitted a copy of the will that we found. I spoke to Mr. Ramsey. He confirmed he prepared the wills. When she passed and William and Kimberly went looking for the original will, they turned their house upside down and could not find it. They ended up finding the copy of the will. Late in life, Frances suffered from dementia, which, as we all know, causes people to do things they normally wouldn't do. One of which is she would hide things. She would throw away documents that were important. And after exhaustive search proved unfruitful in finding the original of the will, only finding a copy, we've all concluded, or they've concluded, that she more than likely threw the original of her will away. They know for certain, and I spoke to Mr. Ramsey as well, that Ms. Webb never went back to another lawyer, never tried to change her will, revoke her will. She is just simply, in the state she was in at the time, disposed of it in the trash or hid it someplace that is in a very good hiding place that they can't find. But like I said, they found a copy of the will. And we're, this exact copy And we're here today to ask the commission's approval, and I submitted an order. I have another order with me if need be. So Mr. Webb can start the probate process here at the courthouse on the copy of the will that they found. Like I said, the wills, two beneficiaries in the will are sitting here today as petitioners, which even if they proceeded intestate, would be the same two individuals that would take intestate. So with that said, we would ask the commission to execute the order allowing Mr. Webb to proceed in probate on a copy of the will, since the original of the will has been destroyed.
And all parties were notified in there, correct, David?
That is correct.
Yes. So now go ahead and make a motion to approve the order.
The motion's been made to approve the order as stated by Mr. Glover. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay, we'll go to number 11, review, discuss, consider grants department applying for the WVREA grant for raising of dilapidated structures.
Yes, this is for it's actually REAP, it's Rehabilitation Environmental Action Plan. And it's a grant that we request every year. Last year it was, we got some litter control containers for that. But this year I'd like to ask for money to help on the demolition of dilapidated structure. The grant is only a max of $5,000 with the match of $5,000. So I would just like to get the authorization to go ahead and get the information together to apply for that grant if you all are on board. I mean, $5,000 is $5,000 that we don't have, so every little bit I think would help.
What's the pleasure?
I agree with Gina, and my motion is to approve as Gina stated on the floor.
Okay. Motion's been made to approve applying for this grant as stated by Gina Jones from our grants department. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, motion carried. Okay, number 12, review, discuss, consider MOU between Harrison County Commission Animal Control and Best Friends Animal Society to do an assessment of facility and operations.
That is correct. So this is an MOU so they can come in and evaluate the animal control facility. And I believe Elizabeth is online if you have any more specific questions about it.
Elizabeth, could you explain this a little better, please?
Elizabeth, are you on the call? Is there a fee for this? I mean,
No, it is my understanding that they come in and do it for free.
was Elizabeth to be on the call today?
Yes, I see her name and she unmuted, but I don't hear, she hasn't been able to speak up yet.
What are they coming to evaluate?
They'll evaluate all the operations there, animal control, the intake, the call taking, every aspect that is a part of it. This is actually a group that she was introduced to when she went to training in Charleston a few weeks ago. And she came back and she feels that this would be a great benefit to animal control, especially since they assess for free. Elizabeth, I see your hand.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea. But I would like to have more details to make sure that if there's no cost or what all's involved on our end.
Hold on one second. Let me try to get her on the phone. Okay, you ready for me to put you on speakerphone? Okay, hold on one second. Elizabeth, you're on speakerphone.
Okay, great. There is no cost involved. They come in and assess our entire operations and kind of give us some guidelines. Obviously, it is nothing that we have to adhere to, but it can only give us some better ideas on ways to save animals. Can you still hear me? Because
Yes.
I had to turn down the volume.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so Whitney and I went to this training a few weeks ago in Charleston that was put on by Best Friends. Best Friends is a national organization that goes into lots of different facilities, and they give us lots of tools, and there's potential grant money available if we do complete this assessment. So I feel like it's only beneficial to us.
So basically, they're gonna look at your processes and how we're handling intake, outtake in our facilities.
Yes.
I move to approve the MOU between Best Friends Animal Society and Harrison County Animal Control.
Okay, a motion's been made to approve the MOU with Best Friends. Trey, have you had a chance to review the MOU?
Yes, Commissioner, I looked at it. It was fairly straightforward. I didn't feel a need to inject a bunch of lawyer talk in what I thought was a good MOU. It's fair. I didn't see a need to add a bunch of additional language.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, it's 10:33. We have Tom Amon from Steptoe and Johnson for report status on property and excise tax, TIF, and all assessment on property.
All right, so.
Right, Tom?
Hi, morning. I wasn't sure if you all wanted to take this up in executive session or what your pleasure was on that.
Whatever you feel is necessary. You're our representative on this.
So what I would say would be the 2008 bonds and the 2019 bonds that are the subject of this discussion are, I'm sorry, but I got a little allergy stuff. They're on the public market. So you have to be real careful about selective disclosure. Information that we're not posting on an Emma site that all the bondholders have access to. We have a discussion in an open meeting in a forum like this that certainly would be available for people to review. Could be considered selective disclosure, and the commission could be in violation of securities laws by not going into an executive session for this discussion. So that's what I would say with respect to that. But it's up to you all to, up to the three commissioners as to how you want to deal with that.
So you would prefer if we made a motion to go executive session?
That would be my legal recommendation. Yes. For that reason.
Makes motion to go into executive session.
Motion's been made to go into executive session regarding the matter. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
One thing, I'm not sure how you technologically accomplished that with the online situation. We've got 2 commissioners online and we've got 1 here.
Just do a 3-way phone call.
Well, we also do it, I mean, I do it here on our people move us into another. We just take everybody that's online and just
Okay.
keep the 3. I mean,
Move them all into a waiting room.
Yep.
You know how to do that.
Is a 3-way call would be easier? I'll volunteer my time. Just call the other 2 commissioners.
Okay.
We can have the other 2 commissioners maybe sign on.
Correct.
That way we go in executive session and we'll call them. And then they can sign back on when we're done.
well, if we're gonna go through all that, why don't we just go in the other room? Yeah. And you can just leave Zoom up and run, so.
Motion, I think, was made to go out of executive session and back into regular session. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have a 10:40 Salli Martin Audit Exit Conference. Is Salli there?
I'm here. Hello.
Hi, Salli.
Hi. So I'm Salli Martin from the State Auditor's Office, and I just wanted to do an exit conference on the fiscal year 2019 audit. I believe you all have copies of the audit report or have seen them previously. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. If anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Or if you have any questions after the meeting's over, you can always reach out to me by email. So I audited the governmental activities, the aggregate discretely presented component units, each major fund, and the aggregate remaining fund information for Harrison County for fiscal year 2019. The opinion on those financial statements was we had a qualified opinion on the governmental activities, the general fund, the vital services excess levy fund, the TIF debt service fund, and the aggregate remaining fund information, because there's been an issue with maintaining proper taxes receivable and community enhancement district assessments receivable. And also there was problems with the calculation and reconciliation of the distribution for revenues for the TIF district. And then there's an unmodified opinion on the aggregate discretely presented component units and the coal severance tax fund. I had 2 findings. One of them was a repeat finding for the tax computer system, and that related to the computer system, that the way they're using it to do the Charles Point Community Enhancement District special assessment fees. The way that it's being handled internally makes it hard to reconcile anything because I can't get proper reports. And then the second finding was for the reconciliation of TIF. When I compared the information that I received from the assessor's office to the information from the sheriff's tax office, there was some material differences and I could not figure out why I was off. So I did a finding because I couldn't reconcile it in order to make an audit adjustment. I did talk to the tax office employees on March 9th, 2022 concerning these issues. I went over them in detail with them, explained what was happening and what they needed to do to correct them. So I believe that they were going to take measures to resolve these issues going forward. So that's basically all that I have. If anyone has any specific questions.
Salli, this is Patsy. Thank you so much for your effort and time.
You're welcome.
It's mainly the software that they're using, right?
Yes, it's just the way it's being handled. It's like being run through, just like the CED tax, collections specifically, are being run through the tax system, and then they're being manually like removed. And then they were not accounting for, like, they didn't have anything to show me like what the original charge was and then what was collected to show me what was still uncollected at the end of the year for the CED stuff. So like I couldn't like verify that they were collecting what they were supposed to collect, and or if there was anything still outstanding at the end of the year that needed to be reported. The problem with the TIF district, I actually got the information that was loaded into the tax office system, and I couldn't really figure out like where the problem was. So they were going to work with the vendor, I think, to try to figure out what happened.
Well, that's
I've
good.
never had a problem with the TIF collections before, so this was something new, and it must have just been something got loaded incorrectly, maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, hopefully everybody will get it figured out. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, and like I said, I did have a lengthy conversation with them and explained exactly what I was seeing and what the problem was. So I think we're all on the same page there now.
Thanks, Salli.
You're welcome. And I just wanted to say that I enjoy doing Harrison County Audit. Everyone there is very helpful, and I always can get all the information that I need without having to make a huge effort and beg and plead. So I appreciate you guys helping.
And I know a lot of us enjoy you. So
Thank you.
does anybody else have any questions of Salli? Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Okay, we had a 1050 funding request, Wallace Volunteer Fire Department, James Gump Jr. Betsy, are you guys still there?
Susan, this is their annual request for their fairs and their festivals.
I know they were there. Are they still there?
I don't think they are. We've had quite a few drop off.
Can somebody answer if they're there?
Betsy is here.
I'm here in person, Susan.
Well, I thought so. Now, so I can't. Now I can see the video. Thanks for opening your mouth. Do you want to? Does anybody want to speak to this?
I am here to speak to it, and Mr. Treecost is right. It is our annual request for funding for our carnival. We are asking, I think, for $2,000 is what the request was for. And again, this covers the entertainment and our concession seed money, so that we have money to buy supplies for the concession trailer and prizes for the games.
Hey, Betsy, will you identify yourself for the record? Most of us know you, but
I am a lieutenant with the department as well as the administrative secretary.
Betsy Shaw, right? Okay.
Hey, Lieutenant Betsy Shaw, motion to approve your $2,000.
Okay, motion's been made to approve the $2,000 request. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, motion carried.
Thank you all. We really appreciate the support of the
You're
commission.
welcome. Okay, now I have to leave at 11:30, and I believe Mr. Treecost does as well. And I think, Mr. Hinkle, you suggested that if we didn't make it through all the agenda items, we could move them. You wouldn't have a problem moving them to next week. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Can we please do number 15 before we table any item, she really needs this one done.
I don't have a problem with that. What about you guys?
Huh?
Okay, so we will go to number 15. We should be able 15. Review, discuss, consider resolution authorizing the acceptance of funds from West Virginia Department of Agriculture for the Spay Neuter Assistance Program.
Move to approve and for the president to fix her signature.
Motion's been made to approve and president affixed signature. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, motion carried. Okay, we'll go back up to number 13. Review, discuss, consider donation of Newsom property located near rail trail system in Shinston.
Sure. I think this originated actually at the city of Shinston, Chad Edwards, and then Mr. Newsom was given my phone number, and he and I had a conversation about a strip of land owned by Riverside Rentals, which is a Newsom entity. It basically extends from the Shinston water treatment plant back towards the city of Shinston near the Pike Street Bridge. There is a strip of land which the Newsom family would like to donate to extend the rail trail from basically treatment plant back into or closer towards downtown Shinston. What I would ask, if you all want to consider this today, is that you approve a motion to create an exhibit, which we would then send to the landowner as well as to the commission for approval, which would define the strip of land the commission would in fact be taking from Riverside Rentals. And that's what I would ask for today. It would extend the trail back towards the city.
Motion to approve as stated by the county attorney.
Motion's been made to approve as stated by county attorney. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Number 14, review, discuss, consider GSA change order request number 19R2.
This is over excavation of unsuitable soils. We've been going back and forth at least the past 6 months over this change order. And so we're bringing in front of you today a change order in the amount of $51,291 to get this one taken care of.
Is it staff's recommendation that we move forward with this 51,000?
Yes, it is my recommendation.
Motion to move forward as stated by staff recommendation.
Okay, motion's been made to move forward with the payment of $51,291 as recommended by staff. Any discussion? This has been discussed by everybody involved, I believe, right? And this is what we came down to.
Yes, this is the one that we've had multiple discussions with Mr. Biller from Thrasher and trying to figure out the correct quantity. So this will get this one finally taken care of.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Number 16, review, discuss, make part of record Wolf Run Mining LLC.
Yes, they have to have compliance and make us aware, and we need to make it a part of the meeting today for their permit number to be placed. It also has to be placed in the local newspaper in conjunction with the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection for a Phase 2 release. This site is located in 10 Mile District of Harrison County, 2.5 miles southeast of Wolf Summit, and discharges into 10 Mile Creek of the West Fork River of Mon River.
Motion to move forward as stated by the county administrator.
So the motion would be made, what should be to make it part of today's record. Is that correct?
Record, exactly.
Okay. Okay, motion to make part of the record for Wolf Run Mining. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Well, I think this is probably a good place to end and start up next week. Does anybody have a problem with that?
I have, excuse me, I came to discuss that. I assume that has to do with some part, ball field. And I have a doctor's appointment next, on the 11th.
No, sir, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm fine.
Okay.
I didn't know what that was. Because it said something about
Yeah,
property.
no, it's for property by the quarry.
Okay. Sorry.
That's all right.
So are we okay to adjourn and put the rest of the items on for next week?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll entertain that motion.
Move to put the balance of today's agenda items on the agenda for next week and move to adjourn the meeting.
I truly appreciate that, David. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Sorry, guys, everybody that showed up for the rest of the meeting. We'll get this taken care of next week. I truly apologize.